Hi, welcome to Nara's YouTube channel, and today we're going to talk a little bit about gluten-free breads. So maybe you were just diagnosed with celiac or you know somebody that is, but missing out on your gluten breads is such a big deal. You start to remember all the places you use bread, right? Like sandwiches and hot dog buns and hamburger buns, and bread is just used everywhere, morning toast. So finding a good gluten-free bread was a high priority for us. And my ways of looking for gluten-free bread may be stricter than yours, but I wanted a bread that wasn't going to crumble all over the place. I didn't want a bread that had a disgusting aftertaste. I definitely wanted a bread that was light and fluffy and reminded me of the gluten breads that I had before I had to go gluten-free. So I wanted to test out a lot of different breads, and I have over the years because you never know what's good or what you'll like until you try it. And I got to tell you, there's a lot of really, really bad breads out there for gluten-free bread options. So I have here just a couple of my favorite bread options, and you may find others that you like a lot more, or may not be able to find these in your area, but these are just a few to start off with. One of our favorite breads as a family is this La Brea Bakery bread. It comes in both white and multigrain, and they're both gluten-free. We find it at our local Wegmans. It does taste very fluffy, very light. It reminds me a lot of regular bread, and it does contain egg in the allergen area. And it is made in a facility that processes milk, peanuts, and tree nuts for anybody that needs to know that information. But I buy this bread, I buy a lot of it. Both the sliced white and also the sliced multigrain, they're both gluten-free, and I freeze them. And I just pull out one loaf at a time as we need it, and we always toast it. Toasting is key for us when we're doing gluten-free breads. It just tastes more like regular bread when it's toasted. Sometimes it may be a little tougher or have a different consistency when it hasn't been toasted. So my advice to you is toast your bread and try it out that way. We also really like the Aldi's bread. Aldi has a gluten-free Live Free G, I believe, gluten-free bread. It also comes in multigrain and white. We love that bread. So if you have an Aldi's around, that's a bread we also like. They seem to always be out of it, so that's why we had to find another bread that we like just as much. So those are our top two favorite breads that are out there. There's a lot of other options. I know Udi's you can find everywhere, and Udi's for us, it's okay. It is a little bit tougher in nature. It doesn't taste quite the same as the rest of the breads that we've had before, and it's almost always in the frozen food section, which is fine. If you toast it in a pinch, it works well. And I think Char bread, which is in a yellow packaging, they've come up with several different varieties of their gluten-free bread, and it's very, very good. I just find that sometimes it's more expensive, or you may not be able to find that everywhere, but it is a fluffy, chewy bread, a little bit more dense than the La Brea. And the Aldi brand gluten-free bread definitely reminds me kind of your normal everyday gluten white bread. So those are really, really good options. When you're talking about buns, hot dog buns and hamburger buns, I gotta tell you, our favorite hamburger bun is Trader Joe's. And the key for me in buns, whether it's hot dog or hamburger, is always to steam the buns. And if in a hurry, do it in the microwave. When you steam those buns, you gotta thaw them out first and then steam them. They taste like good old-fashioned, squishy, yummy hot dog or hamburger buns. And we always, if we don't have the option of Trader Joe's, use Udi's hamburger and hot dog buns. They're available in almost all your grocery stores. They're in the freezer section. And I'm not kidding. Game changer. Definitely steam those buns. If you steam them, you'll be amazed at how amazing they taste compared to what you might have if you just thawed them out or you just toasted them. Steaming them till they're really soft and taste like a regular bun is just a tremendous game changer. So definitely try it out. Let me know if you've tried that. And it definitely works well. There are lots of other bread options. You can make your own breads. There's so many different breads in the freezer section. Definitely give them a try and see which ones you like the best. Your family may have a different preference than mine. But again, toast your gluten-free breads and make sure your toaster is a dedicated gluten-free toaster. If you have family members in your home that can have gluten and you can't have gluten, please make sure you're using different toasters because of cross-contamination. There could be little particles of bread stuck to the sides where it's warming up, and then they could get on your bread and make you very, very sick, especially if you're a very sensitive celiac. So please make sure you have a separate toaster. But I gotta tell you, when I steam my buns for hamburgers and hot dogs with family and friends, nobody knows they're gluten-free. Nobody. And I'm just using good old duty buns. So thanks for joining me today. I hope this topic on bread has been helpful, and I look forward to, seeing if anybody has any other great bread options. Thanks so much, and I'll see you again soon.